Good morning and happy September 26th. Welcome to this get ready for hurricane vlog. This is our first year living in Florida we've been here a whole year. This is our first major hurricane threat since we've been here. So we are gonna be getting ready for that. The kids actually still have school today, so they're getting ready for school. And here comes the little Punky. Good morning. If you're new here and you don't know, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, so hurricane season is nothing new for me. I am used to all of this, so I don't really panic like maybe people that aren't from the East Coast, Southern East Coast would or do. But today it's gonna be like cleaning, running the dishwasher, making sure as much dishes are clean, running the washer, making sure that our laundry is all done, getting some last minute things. I like to go ahead and fill up water bottles with like our filtered water instead of going out, because you will know everyone goes insane and all the water cases, everything is gone off the shelves to prep for this. So probably make a grocery order or some kind of pickup and just try to get ready for this. So lots of cleaning, lots of just trying to get prepared. So let's get to it. This is my favorite creamer really out of anything, because I don't ever use creamer, but this pumpkin spice dairy-free creamer from Silk is my absolute favorite. And one of my favorite things about going into fall is I drink a lot more hot coffee, and I drink a lot more hot coffee from home. So this is my absolute favorite. Just a little bit, and it's delicious. Dropped off the kids. Now I'm kind of driving around. This is kind of what I do whenever I physically drive the kids to school. A lot of times Lennon and Kyan take the bus most of the time, but it was kind of a laid back, low-key morning, and I just decided to go ahead and drive them to school today. But they're all dropped off. I like to drive around and look at new construction because one, I get to see the progress of everything going on around the area, and then two, it kind of gives Curtis some time to sleep in because he works that second shift, doesn't get off until midnight, and so to give him some time to sleep, when I'm off, I like to kind of drive around. So that's what I'm doing. But back to hurricane. Hurricane Ian is, I believe, predicted right now to be category 3, maybe 2 by the time it hits this area. It helps when you're inland. I am from Charleston, so I'm so used to all of this, so it doesn't bother me at all. But we're still gonna prep. We're still gonna get ready. Gonna get my little to-do list together. Curtis got some batteries the other day. He actually did get a case of water. I mean, everybody's just crazy about it. I'm gonna clean, and yeah, that's on our to-do list today to get prepped and ready for this storm. To be honest, I kind of like storms. I'm not a person to flee. I really love thunderstorms. However, I do wish we were in our own house, not in an apartment, to weather the storm. But, you know, what are we gonna do? That's another story. Quick pit stop to McDonald's. So, yeah. That's where we're at right now. Stopped at McDonald's, got a little chicken biscuit, some hash browns, and an orange juice. I love mustard, so I got mustard on my chicken biscuit and on my hash brown. It's gonna be so good. Liking all of my little update, like vlog videos lately. I feel like I'm just not doing good. I mean, yeah, I'm just not doing good. This whole housing thing just really, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to not be so stressed out about it, but I mean, the housing market situation is just driving me crazy. Like, I don't even care about the interest rates because those go up and down. You can refinance. We're so ready to buy a house, but the prices are still so out of control. You know what I mean? And to like not be able to get what you want for the amount of money that you're asking, or you know, that they're asking. And I'm more specifically talking about new builds. And then if you do it from scratch, there are a lot more incentives right now, but that's another year. It's another 14 to 16 months before it would even be done. And like, I just cannot imagine staying in this apartment for another year, year and a half. Seriously, I'm so like at the end of my tolerance for this apartment. When we moved here, we really thought that we would be in the apartment for 6 months, maybe a year at the most. And we've already been here for a year, and we don't even have the prospect at this moment for a house. And to imagine a whole nother year. I can't. I literally can't. So, like, we were thinking about figuring out how to buy like a townhouse to move into, because at least we could move our things out of our U-Haul boxes, and we would have more space to put our things and save that money that we've been spending on storage. So like temporarily, you know, buy a townhouse, live in it while we build something, because at this point it's like that's the only option to get anything that like would remotely be what we want. Do you know what I mean? Like, the resales here are just, they're not my taste, and so at least most of them, like, of course, anything that remotely is like well done and like my style, it's gone. And so and the thing is like they still want to charge, or they still, you know, people still want to sell their houses even when they're outdated and all that stuff for the same amount that you're gonna spend to get a brand new house. And so kind of looking at how to do that. Like, how can you buy a townhouse or something, you know, like that, but also like be approved and buy, like, do a build. Do you know what I mean? And then, you know, rent out the townhouse after we don't need it. But we haven't talked to anybody about that. You're gonna try to get pre-approved for 2 different loans essentially, or 2 different, you know what I'm saying. And I mean, I imagine you have to have like a ton of money to do that. So I don't know. But anyway, that's kind of like the monthly update on the housing situation, which is, there is no update. There's nothing to report. There's nothing going on. And it's really, really like getting to me. It's really, really, really getting to me. Which I mentioned before, I'm just not in a good place right now. And so that's such a big factor in that. But anyway, Moving on to something more light. I was thinking about trying to find a hotel or like a, you know, a resort at Disney or something for the next couple of days to go through the storm, because if you don't know, Disney World is actually one of the safest places you can be during a hurricane. So we've come here during hurricane season a couple of times, and one of them we stayed at the Grand and had a great time. I mean, because if you're worried about coming here during a hurricane, I wouldn't, because basically you're gonna have heavy rain, wind, and all that stuff for 2 days, maybe 1 to 2 days. Typically it's like a 24-hour thing as it passes through or passes by. So it's not a whole lot of time that you're gonna be that's gonna be taken from your trip. And before COVID happened, Disney would actually do activities and stuff. They would do things to get their guests through, you know, being in your room or your resort. So anyway, looking at maybe doing that, or Universal. I know that I saw that Universal was offering for you to be able to bring your pets during this time. So I was looking at that. Like I was saying, I was going to look into maybe staying at a Disney or Universal resort for the next couple of days, but really it's looking like it's probably going to pan out to a tropical storm at this point, and I am scheduled to work for the next 2 days. Literally the 2 days that the weather is going to be the worst, unless they activate our emergency teams. And if you are in an area where you have emergency teams in the hospital, then you know, like, I've always chosen Team B because Team B is usually the cleanup, you know, like they come afterward, because I've always had younger children that were either breastfeeding or just really small. And I know that so many people have the same situation, but I've always been lucky enough to be in that team that comes after the storms. And so, funny enough, in Texas, when I asked my educator on my floor there about emergency teams, they looked at me like I was crazy. And I'm like, you don't have emergency teams for anything? And it ended up, there was the crazy ice storm last year and there were no emergency teams, so it was kind of like scrambling around trying to figure out who's going to stay in the hospital and all that stuff. I think that it's important no matter what, because I think any kind of natural disaster can happen in most places, so I think it's always good to be prepared. But anyway, I am Team B here as well, even though now my kids are a little bit older. Curtis can really manage these things without me, and so I'm not opposed to being Team A. I was thinking maybe I could use a little break, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. I still would rather be with my family and in our own space when things like this happen, but don't think that the whole Disney thing will work out. Also, I am so lazy right now, which has been me pretty much every day. It takes me until like the afternoon, basically when my kids get home from school, to muster up any kind of motivation to get up and clean and do all the things that I need to get done. But I'm gonna make a little grocery pickup list. I think I'm gonna try to make one for Target and for Publix maybe, and stock up on some things. We have some battery candles, but we probably need like a good flashlight maybe. And I have regular candles, even though you're not supposed to use them in apartments apparently, which I had never heard of until we got here, but I have a couple of real candles too. So I'm just gonna make a little list of canned foods and things like that. That will be easy just to open up. Unfortunately, if the power goes out, heating most things up isn't gonna happen. Anyway, we'll see. I also have some stuff from Amazon. I had gotten the kids a few activities or like toys and things like that to, you know, play with if things do go down. So lots of stuff right now. I'm just like not wanting to move at all from the couch. So we actually just got the alert that our emergency teams are being activated. And so that means I will not be working the next 2 days. I will go after the storm has passed, and then most likely it'll be, 2 days that we'll do to give our team A break. So it's official. I'm off for the hurricane. Don't have to drive in this unpredictable weather, so that will be nice. So yeah, we're just gonna, Curtis went to the grocery store, and then I made another grocery pickup, and apparently right now Target is not accepting pickup orders, so I'm not sure if I'm going to venture out there later on this afternoon or what. MCO and the aviation community or whatnot just released that the airports are closing down as well, so hopefully if you were coming, you're getting in here before. I thought they said 4 o'clock this afternoon was the last flights out and in, so I could be wrong. It might be tomorrow morning, but I'm pretty sure I read that it was tonight at 4. So anyway, get to cleaning. I need to get everything on their charger so that way, if we can, we have lots of shows and things like that downloaded between all of our electronics. Hopefully we won't lose power, but you never know. One of the many reasons that I don't really do clean with me's here in this apartment particularly is because of this. This is how I clean.